Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blog Run Everything, and welcome back to the channel or to the podcast. I don't know where you might hear this one from. It's been a minute, okay, since I've done this pretty regularly. Part of it has been due to just a hectic schedule. It's been difficult just to find a place where I can record because I've been moving around. But the other part of it, I have to admit, has to do with, I've been suffering from just a tiny bit of club football fatigue. Honestly speaking, it's, I think, just the fact that the Club World Cup thing came right after, when we traditionally have the end of the season. It just all felt like it kept going, right? Because immediately when the Club World Cup was finishing, preseason was starting for a lot of teams. A lot of teams were deep into preseason. So I just never really got that time, that space. Like sometimes you just need a bit of space, even with people who you love, right? You just need just a bit of space, just some breathing room, just to, catch your breath, just to reset. And we did not really get that this time around, did we? Between the end of last season, the start of this season, it all just feels like a blur, a Club World Cup shaped blur. And honestly speaking, I was just sick of seeing certain teams, I was just thinking, hey, can we just not see some national teams? I cannot believe I actually wanted internationals football during this, not preseason. I just wanted to see some international football. Just to, a palate cleanser, just to wash off the taste of last season and to get me ready for the taste of the new season. Well, I guess in some respect, the past few, like week and a half, it's been that, really. This international break, it's finally given me that, seeing guys like Lamine Yamal playing for Spain, seeing all of that kind of stuff, it's just now made me, it's making me think, hey, when do these guys get to play for Barca again? That anticipation, it's now there. It wasn't really there before, and I think maybe that's why Barca's dressing room atmosphere is a bit prickly at the start of the season. Just the guys didn't get time to be with their other friends. So whatever happened at the end of last season, it just came into the season still festering, still stewing amongst them. Despite all of the birthday antics we saw from guys like Lamine. But yeah, anyway, now I'm really feeling rejuvenated. Like I said, this break, I think, especially with the other international break that's going to be coming, by that time, I think I'm just going to be feeling frustrated because I just want to get back into the thick of things. Also, I think not having Camp Nou, that's been a bit of a major thing that, has messed with the vibes in a big way. Not having Camp Nou, Barca not being back home, despite, we see the posts on social media, it looks like it's ready, right? I mean, I had a short, I think, where I posted that it looked ready to me, but I'm guessing probably the parts that are not ready are outside, because we do know that this Sunday, Barca, as they take on Valencia, they'll be doing so at the former, mini study, the Johan Cruyff Arena, or is it stadium? One of the two. I think it's a Stadio Johan Cruyff, which is like, usually where Barca's B team plays, and sometimes as well where the, Barca Femeni have been playing some of their matches, but it's modest by all measures. I mean, we're talking about 6,000 in the crowd. It's a bit modest, but that's what Barca will be returning to versus Valencia. And well, I guess we're not going to have much of an atmosphere in that one. I do hear though that some La Liga teams aren't happy about that, but this is La Liga, man. It doesn't really matter what the clubs want. Just look at how abysmal the spending has been in La Liga this past window, right? Because even teams who are at 1-for-1, just look at how they're spending. They've got no money, and I don't know why, but I have a feeling, a sneaky suspicion, has something to do with a certain Javier Tebas. I'm just guessing, I'm just guessing. But anyway, this was just supposed to be a quick little, yap session, nothing too much, just to let you know that, hey, I'm alive. I'm still dedicated to the cause, We're still here to talk about things Barca. I mean, things like Ronaldinho today giving a bit of a statement, talking about Messi and Jamal. And, he was asked, like, what's the difference between Messi and Jamal? Then, he went on just to talk about how, both Messi and Jamal are just rare talents, and I like how he described them both as, two different paintings that an artist would make, right? So, Messi with his physical limitations and the way that he plays the game and his demeanor in terms of attitude, on and off the pitch. And the same as well with Lamine, his difference, stature-wise, demeanor, attitude. And I would say for me, the key takeaway was when he said, like, comparisons are really unfair on both Messi and Jamal, because Messi is in his words, unrepeatable legend, whilst Jamal is a star who is seeking his glory, who is seeking to have his moment to rise and, shine. But the part that I liked the most was when he said the press should also just enjoy his talent, that being Yamal, without burdening him with comparisons to those who are honestly incomparable. Let Yamal dream, fall, and rise just as Messi did before him. In the end, every great person has their own path, and Messi is on another level, and Yamal needs his space to be. He is the same, no one else's shadow. And that's the part I like, that no one else's shadow. We do know how the media does like their narratives. They'll compare you to a person, then, if like Neymar, you end up leaving a Barca, it'll be, oh, you left to escape Messi's shadow, right? So that could be the same thing they're trying to do with Yamal. And I think it's just a reminder. We do see quite a lot. I think, especially the start of this season, there's been a lot of hate going Yamal's way. I guess maybe because now he's 18, they feel like it's just, they could say whatever they want about him, like, because he's an adult in their eyes, but we have seen it a lot. It's pretty common on Twitter. We're starting to see it with commentators and the likes. And, with what Flick had said about egos, so many people saying, hey, he was talking about Jamal. But you know what? Just give the kid his space. Let the kid play. Let the kid grow. Let him do what he needs to. He has to make mistakes. Like, for example, right now he says that he feels, assists come naturally to him, and with goals he has to put in a bit more effort, which for me, I think that's a mistake, because just as naturally as assists come to him, the goals as well will come. It takes a bit more time to adapt your goal scoring from, youth football level to senior team level. We've seen that with players like Cristiano, before 23 or before 21, he wasn't really scoring that much. Same with Messi before 21. I mean, sure, he had hat-tricks in El Clasico, but, he wasn't really scoring as much as he did beyond that age. So, it takes time for players to adjust their finishing to the senior level game. And I think that's something which Yamal is probably missing out on right now, but he'll probably get round to figuring it out later on. Anywho, I could probably just really get deep into yapping. I didn't really want to talk for that much. I was hoping just, a quick 5 minutes type of thing. After all, you're just hearing my voice and seeing, a slideshow. So it's not very appealing, is it? But, you'll be seeing my face soon enough. Sunday, definitely, when Barca hosts Valencia. But until then, we'll see if we get any updates on player injuries like a Gavi, like a Frankie. We do know, for example, that Gavi's injury isn't as bad as was being reported, but it's worse than was initially feared, because he might have an operation that's not an operation. But, par for the course with Barcelona. His evolution would determine his return, right? Don't we all love that statement? Anywho, my evolution should not determine when I return. I mean, my return should be determined by when Barca play next, which I look forward to, especially since it's the first home game of the season. But aside from that, do let me know your thoughts in the comments. But thank you all for tuning in. To have a great day, and Forza Barca.